My crush asked me out, but he said he wanted to keep it a secret and he didn't want to tell anybody. Is that okay? Mm, mm. That raises some big red flags to me. Hey guys, it's Madeline Klein from Outer Banks, and I am here with 17 to answer all of your dating questions. So let's get started. How do I help a friend stuck in a love triangle? Obviously, you can never tell someone what to do. They're always going to do what they want to do. But if it were my friend, I would tell them to get out. I would tell them to take care of themselves, make themselves a priority, love themselves first. In my opinion, in a love triangle, someone always ends up getting hurt. Someone always ends up getting the short end of the stick. And also, in my opinion, if you love someone or if someone loves you, you are their number one. You are their first choice. You shouldn't feel like you come second or have to compete. How do I get over a guy who barely knows I exist? Girl, I've been here so many times and I have spent so many nights crying or being upset and sitting by myself in my room just trying to will myself to get over a guy who just doesn't see me. And I know how hard that is. But as hard as it is, bottom line, if a guy can't see you for who you are and how wonderful you are and what you add to the people's lives around you and what you add to a room when you walk in it and how beautiful you are and how funny you are and how intelligent you are and I don't know, your hobbies and your favorite shows to watch or your little quirk. If you can't see all those things, girl, he's not worth your time. I promise you. If he can't see all these things, he's not going to be a good friend to you. And if he's not going to be a good friend to you, he won't be a good anything more to you. Just remind yourself when you're upset and you're hurting, remind yourself that you are worth so much more than to spend your time and your tears on this guy. How do I know if a guy is flirting with me? I'm still figuring this out because every guy's different. You never know. But I think across the board with anybody, it's effort. It's the effort he puts in to talk to you, to be around you, to make you laugh, to find out what you like, what you don't like, to meet your friends. If someone is flirting with you and if someone likes you, you will not have to guess at all. Like they will definitely make it known that they want to be around you. So how do I let a friend down gently after they've asked me out? I've had to go through this. And I've also been on the other side of the situation where I expressed feelings that were not reciprocated. And it's tough. It's tough on both sides. I think the two important things to keep in mind are, one, treat them the way that you would want to be treated if you were in their shoes. And two, be honest. I think to begin with, when you approach the conversation, always list out what you love about them and what you love about their friendship and what they add to your life and what their friendship adds to your life. Because it probably does. And you want to keep them in your life as a friend. And then also, too, you have to be honest about why you don't feel the same way. And maybe it's because you have feelings for someone else. Or maybe it's because your feelings for them are completely platonic. Or maybe it's because you don't want to ruin the friendship. Whatever it is, it's valid. But you owe them as their friend, you owe them the honesty for them to handle it in the ways they need to. And if that means they have to take a few days and think about it and process it, then you totally have to respect that. But at the end of the day, it's always best to still have them in your life as a friend than to not at all. I had a crush on a guy, and so I asked him out, and then first he said no, and then he asked me out. And then there was a dumb misunderstanding, and we just stopped going out. But I still like him, so what do I do? This sounds complicated. I truly think that you should talk to him. I think you should be honest. I think you should text him or call him or whatever, open up a dialogue with him and ask him if he would be willing to sit down and have a very honest conversation about what happened with no hard feelings, just complete and utter transparency. And if you guys like each other, more than likely he's totally going to understand and you're going to put it behind you. Disagreements and misunderstandings happen all the time, but I think the biggest thing is communication. That's how you're going to get over it. That's how you're going to get past it. And hopefully that's how you're going to grow stronger in your friendship or otherwise. But I think the main thing is just hit him up and talk to him. My crush asked me out, but he said he wanted to keep it a secret and he didn't want to tell anybody. Is that okay? That raises some big red flags to me. First of all, my feelings would be extremely hurt if a guy asked me out or wanted to date me and then he didn't want people to know. Like, that, that raises all sorts of questions, and that's, grounds for insecurities, and it just doesn't seem like solid grounds to start a relationship on. I think you should talk to him. I think you should have a very open and honest dialogue about why he doesn't want people to know. He possibly could have a very valid reason. I don't know what that reason would be, because it does sound fishy. The whole reason you ask someone out is because you don't want to hide your feelings for them. So I think before jumping to any conclusions or psyching yourself out about it, talk to him and gauge how he reacts to you opening up a dialogue. If he's not receptive, then it might mean that he's trying to hide something, or, there's something that he doesn't want to talk to you about. And if that's the case, I would say get out. But if he has a valid reason, talk about it. Like, talk things through and lay everything out and be completely transparent. Misunderstandings happen all the time. How long is appropriate to wait before saying I love you? Some people obviously get weirded out when you say it too early, and you definitely don't want to say it like on the first date or the first night. You might want to wait a little bit so as to not psych someone out. But I think you should go with your gut. If you really truly feel like you love them and you want them to know, like, that's a really wonderful thing to be able to share with someone. So, just feel it out, go with your gut, and if you want to say it, then say it. How do I know if I should get back together with someone? I personally have not had good experience with this, but I'm not saying it can't work. I think the biggest thing is making sure that whatever you ended up breaking up from in the past is not only resolved with yourself, but also with that other person. You have communication about the issue, you've matured from it, and you've moved on from it. Because past issues are like wrecking balls, and they definitely fester, and you don't want that to ruin a potentially really great relationship you have with this person. So I think if it feels right and it feels real and you feel like that's the person you want to be with, then by all means go for it. But just make sure that you have communication. Thanks for letting me answer all your questions. Be sure to follow @OBX on Instagram for all the behind the scenes content of the show and takeovers. And in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe to 17's YouTube channel.